There comes a moment in a woman's life when the air feels different, not because the world around her has changed, but because something deep within her has begun to stir. It's the quiet before a beautiful storm of blessings, the gentle rustle in the soul that whispers, "Your time is near." She may not yet see the full picture, but the signs are there, subtle, powerful, and undeniable. These are not random moments. They are divinely orchestrated signals from the one who knows her heart better than she knows herself. Sometimes it begins with an unexplainable peace even in the middle of chaos. Other times it's a sudden clarity about her purpose or the strength to walk away from what no longer serves her. She might find herself tested in ways that feel heavy, only to realize later that every challenge was preparing her to hold the weight of the blessing that was on its way. She might notice doors closing in places she thought she belonged, only for a far greater door to open at the perfect time. These moments are like the first rays of dawn after a long night, soft but certain, promising a day filled with light. Every sign is a reminder that her Lord's plan is unfolding with precision, that He has been aligning the right people, the right opportunities, and the right timing for her breakthrough. This is a journey not just of waiting, but of becoming. Because before a woman is handed something extraordinary, she is shaped into someone extraordinary. The signs are there for those with eyes to see and a heart ready to receive. And when she learns to recognize them, she will not only prepare for the blessing, she will rise to meet it with grace, strength, and gratitude. ChatGPT said, "The quiet shifts in life that hint at divine blessings are often so subtle that at first, they might be mistaken for ordinary moments." It may begin with small adjustments in daily life, conversations that feel deeper than usual, moments of reflection that last longer, or even the sudden urge to distance oneself from certain people or habits without fully knowing why. These shifts don't happen by coincidence. They are carefully placed by the one who is preparing the heart for what is to come. It's as if the soul begins to receive gentle nudges, calling it to be more alert, more present, and more aware of the path ahead. Sometimes this awareness feels like a warm glow inside, a quiet confidence that something good is approaching, even if there is no physical proof of it yet. A woman might notice that she starts to pay attention to things she once overlooked. The laughter of a child may suddenly fill her with joy. The beauty of a sunrise might stir a sense of hope, or a simple act of kindness might feel more profound than before. These are signs of a heart being softened, made ready to receive more than it has ever held before. This quiet transformation often happens without any grand announcement. It is woven into the fabric of everyday life. It's like a seed germinating in the dark, unseen, but already alive with potential. In this stage, distractions begin to lose their grip. The things that once consumed her attention no longer hold the same appeal. She may feel less drawn to meaningless conversations, less interested in chasing after what the world says she needs, and more inclined toward moments of solitude, reflection, and prayer. These are not signs of isolation but of recalibration, a realignment of priorities that makes space for something greater. Her focus begins to shift from what is urgent to what is truly important. There may also be unexpected clarity in decision making. Where there was once confusion or hesitation, she now feels guided, as though an invisible hand is helping her choose the path ahead. She may notice that her intuition becomes stronger, that she can sense when something is right for her and when it is not. These instincts are not random, they are part of the divine preparation, sharpening her inner compass so she can navigate toward her blessings without getting lost in detours. During this time, she may find herself letting go of things that no longer serve her. Relationships that drain her energy may naturally fade away. Commitments that once felt necessary might suddenly feel burdensome, prompting her to release them without guilt. These moments of release are not losses, they are clearings creating room for what is meant to arrive. Just as a gardener removes weeds to give space for flowers to bloom, the soul must sometimes release what no longer belongs so that the heart can make space for the blessings ahead. She might also experience an unusual sense of gratitude. Even in situations that are not perfect, she finds herself thankful for small mercies and quiet moments. This gratitude becomes a lens through which she begins to see life differently, appreciating the journey instead of only fixating on the destination. Gratitude softens the heart, and a softened heart is the perfect vessel for receiving divine gifts. These shifts are not loud or dramatic. They are gentle, deliberate, and full of purpose. They do not announce themselves with noise, but they change everything in silence. It is in this quiet preparation that the foundation for blessings is laid, ensuring that when they arrive, they will not just be noticed, but truly cherished. The role of patience in unlocking what's written for you is one of the most profound lessons a woman can experience in her journey toward divine blessings. Patience is not simply waiting for time to pass. It is the art of trusting that every delay has meaning, that every pause is part of a greater design. It is the quiet strength to keep moving forward without seeing the full picture, to keep believing even when the evidence is invisible. In a world that constantly urges quick results and instant gratification, patience becomes a powerful act of faith. It is the declaration that what is meant for you will arrive exactly when it should, not a moment sooner or later. Patience often feels like walking through a fog. You cannot see far ahead, but you trust that the path exists and that with each step, the way will become clearer. There will be moments when the waiting feels heavy, when doubts creep in and whispers of giving up grow louder. But patience teaches the heart to resist the temptation to rush. It teaches you that blessings are like fruit. They ripen in their own season, and to force them before their time is to rob them of their sweetness. A patient woman learns to sit in the tension between hope and reality. She understands that not everything she prays for will arrive in the exact form she imagined. Sometimes the waiting reshapes her desires, refining them into something far better than what she first asked for. This process is not easy because it often involves surrender, surrendering control, surrendering timelines, and surrendering the belief that she knows best. It requires acknowledging that the author of her story sees a bigger picture, one that stretches far beyond her current understanding. During this period, patience is tested through trials. Life may throw unexpected challenges, setbacks, or delays, not as punishments, but as preparation. The blessing she seeks may be great, but so is the strength required to carry it. Each obstacle becomes a training ground, strengthening her endurance and deepening her trust. Just as a tree must grow deep roots before it can bear heavy fruit, she must be firmly grounded before she can hold the weight of the blessings destined for her. Patience also transforms the way she views time. Instead of seeing waiting as wasted moments, she begins to see it as a sacred space for growth. She uses this time to build her character, nurture her skills, and deepen her connection with her Creator. She learns to be content in the present while holding hope for the future, understanding that the two can coexist. This balance allows her to live fully in the now while still preparing for what is to come. There is also a quiet beauty in the way patience teaches her to appreciate small signs along the way. A kind word from a stranger, an unexpected opportunity, or a sudden feeling of peace becomes a reminder that her prayers are being heard, even if the final answer has not yet arrived. These moments are like breadcrumbs on the path, guiding her gently toward the fulfillment of what was written for her long before she even knew to ask for it. In this process, patience becomes more than a virtue, it becomes a shield. It protects her from the anxiety of rushing into things that are not meant for her. It keeps her grounded when others are chasing after fleeting rewards. And most importantly, it keeps her heart open, ready to receive, and willing to recognize the blessing when it finally arrives. Knowing that the wait was not in vain, but was part of the very fabric of the gift itself, unexpected challenges as gateways to something greater often arrive disguised as difficulties that seem to block the path forward. They can appear without warning, shaking the ground beneath your feet and making you question everything you thought you understood about your journey. At first, they feel like setbacks, disappointments, or even unfair burdens. But over time, with the eyes of faith, you begin to realize that these moments were not meant to destroy you. They were meant to redirect you towards something you could not yet see. The very obstacles that seem to slow your progress often hold the keys to unlocking blessings you never imagined. When a woman encounters such challenges, it can be tempting to see them only as problems. A job opportunity may fall through, a relationship may unexpectedly end, a long-held dream may feel just out of reach. In the moment, these events can be painful, leaving behind questions that seem to have no answers. Yet, these experiences are often the precise moments when the divine is guiding her away from what could have harmed her or limited her, and towards something that will nourish her soul and expand her life in ways she never considered. Sometimes the challenge is not external but internal. She might face a season of self-doubt, fear, or emotional exhaustion. These inner battles are no less significant than external obstacles because they too can prepare her for transformation. Through them, she learns resilience, the ability to stand back up after being knocked down, and the courage to keep moving when the way forward is unclear. Such experiences often strip away illusions, revealing what truly matters and what can be left behind. It is in the midst of these trials that the seeds of strength are planted. A woman who once believed she could not endure certain hardships finds herself surviving them, and in that survival, she discovers her capacity for growth. These moments are like the pressure applied to coal that eventually forms a diamond. The heat and weight may be intense, but they are essential for creating something rare and beautiful. Without these pressures, the potential within might remain dormant, never reaching its full brilliance. Challenges also have a way of forcing her to step into places she would never have gone willingly. They push her out of her comfort zone, demanding that she think differently, act boldly, and take risks she might otherwise have avoided. In doing so, they often open doors that she did not even know existed. What seemed like a detour becomes the main road, leading her directly to the blessing she was meant to receive all along. There is also a refining process that happens through these experiences. Just as gold must be purified in fire, a heart must sometimes be tested through trials to become ready for the blessings it will carry. The fire burns away the unnecessary ego, fear, impatience, and leaves behind a stronger, more grounded spirit. In this way, the challenge itself becomes part of the blessing, because without it, she would not be equipped to handle what comes next. Looking back, it often becomes clear that the very moments she thought were breaking her were actually building her. The pain, confusion, and delays were not punishments, but necessary turns in the road that led to the exact place she needed to be. And in recognizing this, she comes to understand that challenges are not signs of abandonment by the divine, but rather signs of preparation for something so much greater than what she once thought she deserved. Inner transformation before outward blessings appear is a process that often goes unnoticed by the outside world but is deeply felt within the heart. Before a blessing arrives, especially one of great magnitude, there is usually a season of internal work where the mind, spirit, and emotions are being reshaped. This is the phase where a woman's perspectives shift, her priorities realign, and her inner strength is fortified. It is an invisible preparation, as if the soul is being expanded to hold the weight of what is coming. Without this transformation, even the most beautiful blessing could feel overwhelming or be mishandled, so the change within must come first. This transformation can manifest in many ways. Old habits that once seemed harmless may suddenly feel out of place. The conversations she engages in, the environments she chooses, and the way she spends her time start to reflect a deeper awareness of her purpose. It is as though she is gently being pulled toward a higher version of herself, one that is more disciplined, more compassionate, and more intentional. This is not always a comfortable process. It often requires shedding parts of her identity that no longer serve her, even if they have been with her for years. During this stage, her relationship with herself evolves. She begins to notice the ways she has been limiting her own growth, whether through self-doubt, negative self-talk, or allowing fear to dictate her choices. With each small step toward self-belief, she strengthens her capacity to receive and sustain what the divine has written for her. This inner shift often feels like a quiet awakening, where she becomes more attuned to her worth and more protective of her peace. She starts to see herself not as someone merely waiting for blessings, but as someone becoming worthy of them through the refinement of her character. Forgiveness often plays a significant role in this transformation. She may find herself letting go of past hurts, not because they were insignificant, but because carrying them would only weigh her down when the time comes to step into something greater. This release creates emotional space, allowing joy, love, and new opportunities to flow freely. It is in forgiving others, and sometimes herself, that she opens the door to a lighter, freer version of her life. Her spiritual awareness also deepens during this time. She may feel a stronger pull toward prayer, reflection, or acts of kindness. Her connection to the Creator becomes less about asking for specific outcomes and more about trusting the process entirely. This trust allows her to navigate uncertainty with grace, knowing that even when she cannot see the details, the plan is unfolding exactly as it should. Her faith matures, becoming less reactive and more anchored in a steady, unshakable belief. This inner transformation often changes the way she sees challenges. Instead of resenting them, she begins to recognize them as part of her preparation. Each trial becomes an opportunity to build resilience, patience, and wisdom. Even in moments of discomfort, she can feel the growth taking place beneath the surface, much like the roots of a tree spreading deep underground before the first leaves ever appear. By the time the outward blessing arrives, she is no longer the same woman she was when the journey began. She has developed the strength to carry it, the wisdom to appreciate it, and the clarity to use it for good. The blessing does not define her. It simply meets her where she has already grown to be, becoming a natural extension of the transformation that has already taken place within her. Recognizing the divine alignment of timing and opportunity is one of the most powerful realizations a woman can have on her journey toward a significant blessing. It is the understanding that nothing in life happens by accident, that every meeting, every delay, and every breakthrough is woven together with precision. Divine alignment means that the blessing is not only about what you receive, but also about when and how you receive it. There are moments when everything seems to fall into place effortlessly, as if unseen hands have been arranging every detail behind the scenes. These are not coincidences, they are signs that the timing has been divinely orchestrated. Sometimes this alignment is seen in the way certain doors open exactly when they are needed. A job offer comes just after a season of financial struggle. A new friendship arrives right when loneliness had begun to settle in, or a long-awaited answer to prayer appears at the very moment it can be most appreciated. This kind of timing carries a beauty that cannot be manufactured. It feels too precise to be explained by chance. When you look back, you realize that if the blessing had come earlier, you might not have been ready, and if it had come later, the opportunity might have passed. Divine alignment is also about the people who are placed in your path. Sometimes the right connection comes unexpectedly. A mentor, a supporter, a friend, or even a stranger whose words spark a new direction in your life. These encounters often seem casual at first, but later reveal themselves to be pivotal. The Creator knows exactly who needs to cross your path and at what moment they will have the most impact. This is why it's important to remain open to the possibilities that each day carries, because the alignment might already be unfolding in ways you cannot yet see. There are also moments when alignment can be recognized in what does not happen. Opportunities that seem perfect might suddenly fall through, leaving you confused and disappointed. Yet in time it becomes clear that they would have led you away from the blessing meant for you. The closed door was not a rejection, but a redirection, ensuring that you would be in the right place at the right time for something greater. This can be one of the hardest parts of alignment to accept, because it requires trusting that even the disappointments are part of the plan. When timing and opportunity align, there is a deep sense of peace that accompanies them. Even if the blessing challenges you, it will feel right in a way that cannot be explained. The steps leading up to it will seem almost effortless, not because there was no hard work, but because the right conditions have been set for it to flourish. It's like planting a seed in the exact season it will thrive. There is growth because the environment, the soil, and the care are all in harmony. Recognizing this alignment often strengthens faith. It becomes easier to see that every delay was necessary, every challenge was purposeful, and every moment of waiting was shaping you for this exact point in time. You realize that the Creator's timing is never rushed and never late, but perfectly measured for your benefit. The blessing arrives not only when your heart is ready to receive it, but when the world around you is ready to support it, creating a harmony between who you have become and what is about to unfold.